Welcome.
Today we're brewing a dry hopped Hazy IPA and we're doing it old man style because it's Saturday and I'm hanging out with my dad bros, Josh and Micah. Between the three of us, we're 135 years old. None of us can floss, none of us can dab. In fact, the only dance moves we still remember are from Peanut specials. We have grown-up superpowers now. Micah has a credit score of 3,000. Josh only yells at his kids when absolutely necessary. And I still know where to buy weed. Just kidding, but I do know how to make delicious hazy IPAs. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's done in this video. For this brew day, we're using 10 pounds of Chesapeake Pilsner malts, 2 pounds of flaked oats that we had left over from something else. I honestly think we bought the oats to make breakfast for the kids and then just forgot about it. Oats though is a key ingredient in hazies because it creates a smooth mouthfeel and contributes to the haze. Finally, we're adding some carrot foam for a nice fluffy long-lasting head. We don't always adjust water chemistry for the beers that we brew, but for hazy IPAs it is an important part of the process. And I would generally add the salts to the kettle before adding the grain, but I forgot and added the grain first, but then I remembered and added the salts later. It's completely fine to do it this way and it's not going to noticeably affect the beer. But I try not to make mistakes like this because right now somewhere there is a type A retired engineer watching this video who literally just had an aneurysm upon hearing this. And in that sense, it does make a difference. So it's best to try to add your brewing salts before adding the grain. Speaking of the chemistry, the key to doing it right if you're not smart like us is to just use an online water chemistry calculator. They're free and they're easy to find. We'll link one below. Or you could just do what I did in high school and ask your smartest friend to do it for you. Steve from the Apartment Brewer channel, he'd probably know how to do it. But I wouldn't just email him out of the blue unless he put his email somewhere publicly, like on his YouTube channel. However, whatever you do, do not contact CH from Homebrew for Life. His email is public as well. He will only respond with nudes. All right, pulling the grains can sometimes require some serious lifting, especially for bigger beers, which is actually why we invited Josh. I got a good shot of your biceps, Josh. I know that's what you came over for. Micah was on clip duty.
Here, I'm gonna put it in really slowly.
And Josh's dad's strength surpasses mine. My back is so messed up right now because I washed my hair this morning. Like literally just washed my hair. And once the basket's out, you need to put the grain somewhere. Our grain pile's gotten pretty high recently, so we found a new place to put it. Yeah, over by the neighbor's house.
Past the sprinter or what?
Yeah, around the corner from the sprinter. So just dump them.
Place where no one looks. Over the no one may see.
Yeah.
Here's what's sad about being old from the 80s. I mean, it's a shame really.
Yeah.
It's really a shame. It's sad, but whatever.
All right, back to the kettle. We chose to add 2 ounces of Amarillo hops and half an ounce of Columbus, maybe 0.3 ounces of Micah's Boogers as well.
Sure. Oh.
We chose not to add a ton of hops during the boil and opted to add most of the hops to the whirlpool, 2 ounces of Amarillo and half an ounce of Columbus after chilling the liquid down to 170 degrees. This maximizes hop aroma while minimizing bitterness because hop aroma compounds are quite volatile, and if you throw them in at the beginning of the boil, they're just gonna float off into the ether. Also, the longer you boil hops, the more bitter they become. Speaking of aroma and bitterness, we add a ton of dry hops during fermentation, which I'll get to in a minute. But before we get there, we need to wrap this brew day, which we did by chilling the wort all the way down to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, transferring it to a keg fermenter, pitching some hazy yeast, then capping it off with a spunding valve set as close to zero pressure as possible. We're just looking to allow the CO2 to escape, but not let any oxygen in. Halfway through available because it was on another keg at the time, so I just continuously ran the slightest amount of CO2 through the keg while making the addition to make sure that no oxygen got in. And I purged the keg with CO2 for good measure after sealing it back up. At about the 10-day mark, I transferred the beer to a fresh keg to get the liquid off of the dead yeast cells and the hops and chilled it down to sample with my good buddy Emmett. But I'll be dropping the beer off at my dad friend's house in a few days for their annual block party, which I'm sure will be a big hit. I wonder how we get ants. Just stripped it all the way from the back.
Shocking.
Gosh.
I think you nailed the mission of making it hazy.
It smells amazing.
It does smell really good.
Oh yeah, that's winter TV dinner.
It's an IPA.
You don't like that? You don't like this?
I do like it. I don't drink a lot of it. It's a little bit too bitter for me. I don't
Really?
like bitter beers, which is why I don't like IPAs.
Wow.
But it's not like excessively bitter.
Yeah,
Hazy,
juicy. Yeah.
Juicy.
Tasty, juicy. Hoppy.
Yeah, and it's not, when I say bitter, it's not bitter by any
Yeah.
means. It's just, for my delicate palate.
Yeah. It's always been a delicate flower.
Still am.
It has a good amount of body, but it's not too sweet. I think it's got plenty of malt and not too much hops for my liking. I think it's like, you go to a craft brewery, you order this, you overlook what it looks like, but then you smell it and taste it, and it's like a grand slam home run.
It's a style, for sure.
So pluses, great taste, great aroma, lots of hop character. I think it's well balanced, good body. Minuses, appearance, I'm gonna go with like 4 out of 10, maybe 5 out of 10, just because it is supposed to be hazy. But
Would definitely be helping with that head retention.
man, I don't think they are. And you know what? I didn't even forget to put them in.
Either way, there's no head.
Yeah.
Plenty of carbonation.
Yeah.
This will be a crushable beer for a block party, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think it will probably have 1 or 2 too many because it'll go down extremely
It's
easy.
gonna go down. Yeah, real nice.
But yeah, I'd say you guys nailed it. Someone can maybe comment on why it looks like dirty water.
I brewed this with my dad homies. They have kids, they're busy, it's hard to keep up with the hobby. And people like weekend warrior, power dads aren't generally what we see.
Especially a lot of the guys that talk to, they're getting back into it, that came from like a homemade 3-tier system.
Yeah.
Like it's night and day.
Yeah,
you hit a
yeah.
button, you let it mash, you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah, it's less work. So you're able to brew and then kind of keep an eye on the kids at the same time. Boone borrowed my car.
Crayons?
Yeah.
Can I just borrow a car?
Bro, you're only 10.
Come on.
Bro, you're only 11.
Come on.
Don't drive it till you're 16.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm getting like the slightest amount of hop burn, like minimum threshold detectable amount.
Yeah, and that might be what I'm perceiving as like bitterness, hot bitterness,
Got
is
it,
that
yeah.
burn.
Yeah.
But I think that'll also maybe fade a little bit by
Yeah.
the time the party happens.
Yeah.
Because it's still extremely young.
Yeah,
beer,
yeah.
So. I would say brew it as is. A lot of
Yeah.
times I'll critique it and be like, change this. But like, if you can figure out how to not make it look like dirt water,
Yeah.
maybe. But even that, I don't mind.
Sweet. Well, thanks to my buddies Josh and Micah for coming over and brewing this beer with us, and thanks to our kids for hanging out for 5 hours trying to entertain themselves. We left them with really nothing.
Here's a stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's getting the hit first?
Cool. Well, the recipes are on our website, clawhammersupply.com. Thanks for watching. See ya.